Greetings my saplings, in today's video we are going to be discussing the Yeezy 350 V2 Zebra, which is making its third release. Specifically in today's video, like always in these How to Cop guides, we're going to be mentioning some release info and some background information for the sneaker, how to cop the sneaker, and of course, some resale predictions. Now, if you don't care about the background information and you solely came for the How to Cop portion of today's video, feel free to skip to here, but for the rest of you, let's jump right into this. To kick this one off, we actually have to take it back a little while. Early January of 2017, we got word that another Yeezy V2 would be releasing. At the time, 350 V2s were extremely sought after and very difficult to get in any colorway. Hence, when people saw this specific colorway, people went nuts. What added to the hype and the resale even more was the fact that there were only around 10,000 pairs between Adidas.com, Yeezy Supply, and Adidas Confirmed. So after this release of the 25th, after the February 25th of 2017 release, resale hovered around $1,400 or so, and these shoes were extremely sought after by most collectors. Initially, these shoes were arguably the most sought after shoe of 2017. However, this all began to change in spring of 2017. Rumors arose of a potential restock. Everyone who knew it was coming sold their pairs and cashed out, and the price dropped very slowly. In fact, many still didn't believe that the restock was coming, specifically because a very reliable source known as Yeezy Mafia claimed that they would never restock. Then on April 3rd, they released a tweet that said a re-release was scheduled, but there was no restock scheduled. So yeah, I know what you guys are saying right now. What's the difference? And the truth is, there really is no difference. They kind of just made it up. They stated that a re-release was when there's a new production date, and a restock is when there's no new production date, similar to what we saw with the Holy Festival Human Races a little while ago. And honestly, I could agree with that. I could completely agree with that. However, it's almost like they don't agree with it because they're calling the Yebras and the Zebras themselves a restock. But honestly, guys, it's not a big deal. It's in the past. Who cares? Anyway, after this, prices dropped some more considering Yeezy Mafia is a rather reliable source. However, they still hovered over $1,000. Then finally, on June 24th, stock was high and resale dropped. On the June 24th release, I believe that many people underestimated the amount of stock. And as soon as pairs went into circulation, it was just a huge plummet. Many people lost money, and those are the people who knew what was going on and cashed out before and purchased some pairs on this release as well. They did pretty well for themselves. So at this point, here's what stock looked like for the Zebras compared to the creams at that time and then some other shoes at that time. But obviously, as you guys know, here's what the stock for the creams look like now, but anyway, that's besides the point. And then after this release, prices basically plateaued since then until word got released of another re-release. And that re-release will be November 9th for $220. And I trust that you'll all be able to cop if you want a pair. As for the name Zebra, you might be wondering where that name derives from. Come on, guys, you should already know this. It comes from the name elephants. Anyway, with the background information out of the way, why don't we jump into how to cop these sneakers? And actually, I'm going to reword this portion of the video into how to cop properly, because I trust that you'll all be able to get pairs rather easily, but I want to make sure that you guys save the most amount of money possible and just take advantage of everything I'm about to mention. So for most sizes, these are going to be rather easy to cop like I've been mentioning, and we'll talk about which sizes those aren't going to be. But basically, I'm suggesting that you stick to Adidas.com only, no matter what country you're in. Hey guys, just a quick thing I actually wanted to add in as I was editing the video. It completely slipped my mind when I was recording that Foot Locker was going to be getting these, not only these, but the Adidas app as well, and also some in-store raffles. The reason I say you should also go for these things is because you'll be able to get your pair in hand on the day of the release, so evidently this is before most pairs go into circulation, so therefore the resale is going to be higher on this day. So I do also suggest any in-store opportunities, going for those as well, but for the rest, stick to Adidas.com, and let me tell you why. Adidas has free shipping, first of all. They have very fast shipping, great customer service, free returns, and also they load up size 16s, and we'll talk about that later. Now, I do want you guys to stay away from raffles and consortium releases simply because it's either going to be a little bit of extra money considering some of these are in different currencies. Not only that, but you also might have to pay a little bit extra for shipping. And usually when it comes to these, there's also no returns in case you get the wrong size or you just change your mind. Finally, my favorite option, Yeezy Supply. Of course, guys, I'm kidding. You guys know how much I hate Yeezy Supply. Not only do they ship very slow, some of my pairs have taken up to 1 to 2 months to not only arrive at my house, but simply just to ship out after I ordered them. Not only this, though, they actually lost my blue tint Yeezys and never refunded me. Now, I know I'm not the only one. There's plenty of you guys who this happened to as well. And no, I couldn't get my money back because I couldn't charge back because I waited a whole 2 months instead for them to come up because my Power Phase Yeezys took 2 months to show up at my house, so I figured these would too. I mean, I'd rather have blue tints than $240. But I ended up with nothing because I thought that Yeezy Supply would eventually ship them and they never did. But anyway, let's move on. They also charge $20 for shipping, which obviously you're getting free shipping on Adidas.com, and they also do charge tax, guys. A lot of you guys were saying Yeezy Supply doesn't charge tax. So essentially, I want you guys to stick to Adidas.com only because of all those things that I mentioned. Again, guys, just to re-emphasize on my point earlier, I still think that you should go for the in-store releases such as the foot apps, because when you see that you've confirmed the reservation, you can actually sell them a little bit before you pick them up because you know you're going to get them, because StockX allows you to sell with 2 business days or so. And obviously a weekend doesn't count as a business day, so you'll have plenty of time, and I do suggest selling as soon as possible because when pairs go into circulation, prices are going to drop significantly. Regarding the times that they're going to be releasing, stock will load up at the times I'm going to be mentioning. However, you could get into the splash page, I'd say 20 minutes or so earlier, and that might be an option for you since you might want to have all your Chrome users set up. So for Adidas US, stock should go live at around 10 a.m. Eastern time, but again, you should be able to get in at 9:40 or so. That's when you just refresh your pages. For Adidas Europe, in all countries, it should be probably 4 a.m. Eastern time. Then for Canada, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Australia is actually a complete day before. And of course, depending on what country you live in, you could just do a quick time conversion for these. And of course, depending on what country you live in, just do a quick time conversion from wherever you are to Eastern time. So again, when it comes to the common sizes, don't stress it, guys. In fact, I'm expecting that the splash page might actually go away after a few hours for sizes, say like sizes 8 to 12. Those sizes should probably stick around for a day or two, something like that. But if you do happen to have sizes 6.5 and lower or 12.5 and up, I do suggest getting into the splash page early and trying to cop with the multiple people jig, just because I am expecting these sizes to sell out rather quickly. Of course, make a bunch of Chrome users. The more the merrier. And just a quick tip, guys, use F3 on Mac. It's a button at the top of the keyboard to view all your Chrome users at once. Then you could also use the Windows and Tab button at the same time to view everything at once, just like on Mac, but for Windows. Of course, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you don't know what the multiple people jig, which most of you guys should, feel free to check out this video right here. I just don't want to re-explain it now because I feel like most of you already know what you're doing and I don't want to waste your time. Also, guys, quick tip, go up half a size on 350 V2s to your normal shoe size. These tend to run a little narrow in the toe box. But with the how to cop properly out of the way, why don't we talk about some resale predictions? So I am expecting a sellout for these shoes, not immediately. I am expecting, like I said, the splash page to go away for a little while. Perhaps they'll sell out within the first day or so, maybe 2 days, and potentially some restocks throughout the week as well. But for sizes 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5, you can expect that you might be able to make a little bit of profit, nothing too significant. Honestly, you might not want to waste your time on here because retail is $220. And then some of you guys are charged tax on top of that. But when it comes to a size 16, 16 is definitely going to be profitable. I can assure you that. And no, it's not impossible to cop a 16. I copped a size 16 creams. Granted, there was a lot more stock on the creams, but still, there's a lot of stock on these zebras, so you should be okay. I trust that a decent amount of you guys are going to be able to cop, and I think that I have a pretty good chance of copying too. I mean, I almost had that size 15 mauve, but I wasn't paying attention. I was answering your guys' question in the stream, and honestly, I couldn't care less. But basically, size 16, definitely profitable. Tons of wiggle room for profit there. And again, like I mentioned, for 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, since there are free returns, perhaps you might want to go for those just for the heck of it. Also, if you are just breaking even, of course, this is going to be beneficial to adding points onto your Adidas app. So perhaps that will actually help you with future releases if you're only breaking even. But again, still, there are free returns if you do want to go for 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5. So there's no risk on Adidas.com. Personally, I think I'll just be sticking to size 16 2016, but let me know what you guys are gonna do. I already have my personal pair. I really don't need another. Wear these things a ton. I highly recommend copying a personal pair. I don't usually say that for Yeezys. I'm not a huge Yeezy guy, but the Zebras were definitely a shoe I loved rocking all throughout 2018 and 17. With that, I'm actually going to conclude today's video. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, if you perhaps learned a thing or two. Also, subscribe and turn on post notifications to stay updated for every single shoe that I'll be mentioning in the future. With that, though, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Good luck. Well, you probably won't need the luck, but I'll see you later.
Get your foot off my foot. Ah. Get your foot off my foot. Yeah. Why are you always in my way, knocking me over every single day? Get your foot off my foot. Ah. Get your foot off my foot. Yeah. I should have run the other way. Now there's just one thing to say. Get your foot off my foot. Ah.